Hi everyone, this is Veronica, and today my lecture is on policies, programs, schemes of the Government of India, part 4. Already 3 parts on the same topic are also available both in Hindi and English. And regarding this lecture, if you have any query, you can mail me or you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And for the PDF for my session, either it is uploaded on the Telegram or you can get that link from my Facebook profile. This is a channel StudyIQ. If you're preparing for any government exams like SSC, bank or UPSC exams, our pen drive and tablet courses are also available. For the additional information, you can call on these numbers or you may log into our website. So for today, our topics that we are going to discuss are National Rural Drinking Water Program, Deen Dayal Spur Yojana, She-Box Portal, Intensified Mission Indradhanush, Sankalp Strive Schemes, Secure Himalaya Project. So one thing here you have to keep in mind that present government usually how they name their scheme is usually an acronym. Like Sparsh, it is an acronym. It has a full form. Sankalp and Strive also are acronyms, and then She-Box Portal. Like for She-Box, S is for sexual, H for harassment, and E for electronic. So this is how you need to remember the name of the schemes via these acronyms. So for these acronyms, as we progress with our lecture, you'll get to know the full forms also. So let's start with our first scheme, that is National Rural Drinking Water Program. So the Union Cabinet that is chaired by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has accorded its approval for continuation and restructuring as the scheme already existed. So this is a continuation and restructuring of National Rural Drinking Water Program to make it outcome based, competitive and better monitored with increased focus on sustainability of schemes to ensure good quality service delivery to the rural population. So a sum of 23,050 crore have been approved for the program for the 14th finance commission period, that is from 2017-18 to 2019-20. The program will cover all the rural population across the country. The restructuring will make the program flexible, result oriented, competitive and will enable the ministry towards to reach the goal to achieve the portability and affordability of the drinking water. So as I told you, this is restructuring and continuation of this program. So basically this program started in 2009. So I'll try to give you a little background of this program. As it started in 2009 with a major emphasis on ensuring sustainability of water availability in terms of portability, adequacy, convenience, affordability and equity. So NRDWP is a centrally sponsored scheme with 50-50 fund sharing between the center and the states. So over the years, learning from the success achieved and the deficiencies felt during the implementation of this program, certain modifications were needed in existing guidelines and procedure. That is why this is continued as well as restructured. So I'll tell you some new features of this program, like National Rural Drinking Water Program will be continued co-terminus with the 14th Finance Commission, as I already told you, that is till March 2020. Second is, with the restructuring of this program, there will be 2% earmarking of funds for the Japanese encephalitis, acute encephalitis syndrome affected areas. Next is, there is a new sub-program under this scheme, and that sub-program is NWQSM, and the full form of this sub-program is National Water Quality Submission, which has been started by the Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation in February 2017, and this will address the urgent need for providing clean drinking water in about 28,000 arsenic and fluoride affected habitations. So as per estimates, about 12,500 crore at central share will be required over 4 years, that is up to March 2021. So this is being funded from the allocation under this scheme only. Plus, there's one more important feature in the restructuring. that is, they have included the competition between the states. How? Like pre-financing for the agreed schemes to the extent of half of the second installment amount will be made by the state governments, which will be reimbursed later on from the central funding. Like if the states fail to claim this amount before 30th November in the financial year, then these funds will become a part of common pool, which will be released to the high performing states which have already pre-financed the requisite government of India share on the first come first serve basis. Because as usually what happens, work is done on the paper by the states, and on the ground reality is different. So, other half of the second installment of funds will be released to the states based on the functionality status of the completed piped water supply schemes, which will be evaluated through a third party. So, as per Integrated Management Information System of the Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation, 77% of rural habitations of India have achieved a fully covered status. Fully covered status means 40 liters per capita per day. I repeat, 40 liters per capita per day. And 56%, okay, 56% of rural population have access to tap water through public stand post, within which 16.7% have household connections. So this is about this scheme. Now let's move to our next scheme. This is Deen Dayal Sparsh Yojana. Now, as I told you, this is an acronym Sparsh. Sparsh stands for S for scholarship, P for promotion, A for aptitude, research, stamps. So, this is the whole full form is scholarship for promotion of aptitude and research in stamps as a hobby. Now, the Union Ministry, this is launched by Union Ministry of Communication, and this is a pan-India scholarship program for school children to increase the reach of philately. So what is philately? Philately is basically the hobby of collection and study of postage stamps. It also entails the collection, appreciation and research activities on stamps and other related philatelic products. The hobby of collecting stamps includes seeking, locating, acquiring, cataloging, displaying, maintaining the stamps of related products on thematic areas. And this philately is called the king of hobbies because stamp collection as a hobby has a lot of educational benefits also. It teaches a lot about the socio-economic and political reality of the period in which the stamp is issued or the theme on which it is issued. So it is proposed to award annual scholarship to children of 6th to 9th having good academic records. Let's see this. So this is a pamphlet of the scheme. 920 scholarships to students pursuing philately as a hobby will be given, and these 920, how they are divided, like each postal circle will give 40 scholarships. Like from 6th they will take 10 students, from 7th they will take 10 students, 8th they will take 10, and then 9th they will take 10 students. That is 40 students from each postal circle, and the amount of scholarship to be given will be 6,000 per annum and 500 per month. So this all I told you. Now see this, and this scholarship will be given to the candidate who must have scored at least 60% marks, and there is 5% relaxation to SAST in the recent final examination. So this is very important, and some more features to this will be like child must be a student of recognized school within India, and concerned school should have a philately club in their school. So in case the school philately club has not been established, a student having his own philately club philately deposit account will also be conceded. So every prospective school which participates in the competition would be assigned a philately mentor to be chosen among the renowned philatelist of the India also, and these mentors will help the school to establish their philately club and will guide the students pursuing this hobby or taking part in the competition. Like the Philately Mentor would help in formation of school level philately club, providing guidance to young and aspiring philatelists on how to pursue the hobby, and also helping the aspiring philatelist on their philately projects. And the scholarships will be given, and this will be evaluated by these renowned philatelist committee, and quiz and project work will be evaluated. So there's some extra information, like the Philatelic Society of India was formed in 1897, and this was established by a group of mainly Englishmen resident in the country as the first all India Philatelic Society. Most of the original members were Englishmen only, and the first Indian who entered into this club was Mr. C.K. Dutt. He belonged to Calcutta, and he was admitted into this club in 1907. So this is about this Sparsh Yojana. Now I hope you are clear about this. Next is She-Box portal, and as I told you, this is also an acronym, and its full form is Sexual Harassment Electronic Box. So basically it is launched by Ministry of Women and Child Development. This is an online platform to enable women employees working in both public and private organization to file complaints related to sexual harassment. It was also launched earlier, but at that time it was available only for the women employees of central government employees, and at that time they said they will extend it, and finally they have extended this online portal, and they made it available for both public and private organization. The complaint management system has been developed to ensure effective implementation of sexual harassment of women at work, and the action will be taken according to the Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act, that is the SH Act 2013. And before 2013, SH Act 2013, if any such kind of complaint used to come, the action was taken according to the Vishakha guidelines of the Supreme Court. They were prescribed by the Supreme Court of India. So this is how, when you log into their site, this portal looks like here you can register your complaint. Next is view status of complaint. You can also view the status of your complaint, like what is the progress of your complaint. So to file an online complaint, you have to fill the relevant details as required in the complainant form, such as name, designation, Aadhaar, email, and whatever is asked for. So at a given time, complaint can be made against more than one accused respondent by naming all the accused respondents on the name of the accused respondent column and separating them through a comma. So in case the complaint is already filed, you have to attach a copy of the same through the button provided for the purpose. After furnishing all the details, you have to press the button submit. Okay, so once a complaint is submitted, an automatically generated email with user ID and password will be generated, and your complaint number will also be generated. So using that complaint number, you can view the status of the complaint. So once a complaint is submitted to the She-Box, it will directly send the complaint to the internal complaint committee, that is ICC of the concerned ministry and department. Then the internal complaint committee will take action as prescribed under SH Act 2013 and update the status of the complaint. So the status of the complaint can also be viewed at any time through the portal. So this is about this what is the modus operandi. Almost I told you how you have to, or a women employee suffering from sexual harassment can file an online complaint, and even if they have already complained under this internal complaint to the internal complaint committee, such women are also eligible to file a complaint through online process. But what they have to do, they have to attach that copy of that complaint. So this is about this is about She-Box portal. And one more thing, like this is a historic step, since it is probably the first ever time that the government of any country has launched an online portal to receive complaints of sexual harassment at workplace. The government is completely committed to provide a safe and fair environment to working women. It is for this reason that this ministry, WCD ministry, has made efforts to make the setting up of internal complaint committees mandatory at all workplaces. This is said by the Minister Maneka Gandhi when they were launching this portal. Now next is intensified mission Indradhanush. As the Prime Minister rightly said, let no child suffer from any vaccine preventable disease. Okay, so through this program, Government of India aims to reach each and every child under 2 years of age and all those pregnant women who have been left uncovered under the routine immunization program. So basically this intensified mission Indradhanush is a special drive which will focus on improving immunization coverage in selected districts and cities to ensure full immunization to more than 90% by December 2018. You need to remember the year. Why you need to remember this year? Because Mission Indradhanush was already launched and its target year was 2020. So, but now the government think we can achieve the required target in advance also, that is why it is named now restructured to intensified mission Indradhanush. What was said to be achieved in 2020 now is targeted to be achieved in 2018. The achievement of full immunization under mission Indradhanush to at least 90% coverage was to be achieved by 2020 earlier. With the launch of IMI, that is intensified mission Indradhanush, achievement of the target has now been advanced. So with a sharpened focus on high priority district and urban areas under IMI, 4 consecutive immunization rounds will be conducted. So you can see here that these 4 consecutive immunization rounds will be conducted for 7 days in 173 districts. 121 districts and 17 cities. Okay, let me write it here. It will be conducted in 173 districts, out of which 121 districts and 17 cities will be in 16 states, and 52 districts will be in the northeastern state of India, and every month between October 2017 and January 2018. So intensified mission Indradhanush will cover low performing areas in the selected districts and urban areas. These areas have been selected through triangulation of data available under national surveys, health management information system, etc. So, special attention will be given to unserved low coverage pockets in the sub-center and urban slums with migratory population. The focus here is also on the urban settlements and cities identified under National Urban Health Mission, that is NUHM. So an appreciation, moreover they have tried to add up several things like appreciation and awards mechanisms will also conceive to recognize the districts reaching more than 90% coverage. The criteria includes best practices and media management during crisis. So to acknowledge the contribution of civil society organization and others, certificate of appreciation will also be given. So IMI would be closely monitored at the district and state levels. Like here you can say they have started this program Pragati, under which it will be monitored. So I want to give you a little background about the mission Indradhanush, because what we are talking right now is intensified mission Indradhanush. So what was there in mission Indradhanush? Mission Indradhanush was launched in 2014. It aimed to fully immunize more than 90% of children under age of 2 years as well as all pregnant women against 7 vaccine preventable diseases. And what are these 7 vaccine preventable diseases? You need to remember because it could be asked in your prelims. So these vaccine preventable diseases are diphtheria, whooping cough, poliomyelitis, tetanus, tuberculosis, measles and hepatitis B. So these are the 7 diseases you need to remember. And moreover, there were some states, in addition to vaccines for Japanese encephalitis and Haemophilus influenza type B, were also being provided by some other selected states. So you can remember it or not, that is up to you. But for Mission Indradhanush, these 7 vaccine preventable diseases you need to remember at any cost. So now the next schemes are Sankalp and Strive schemes. The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs has approved 2 new schemes: skills acquisition and knowledge awareness for livelihood promotion, that is Sankalp, and skill strengthening for industrial value enhancement skill strengthening for industrial value enhancement, Strive, to boost the Skill India mission. So you need to remember the full forms of Sankalp and Strive. So now let's see the next slide. So the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, chaired by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, has approved 2 new world supported schemes, as we discussed, Sankalp and Strive. And these the money, the financial money that is allotted for these schemes are rupees 6,655 crores for skill acquisition for Sankalp and Strive. Okay, and Sankalp is 4,455 crore centrally sponsored scheme, including rupees 3,300 crore loan support from World Bank, whereas Strive is a 2,200 crore central sector scheme with half of the scheme outlay as World Bank loan assistance. So Sankalp and Strive are outcome focused schemes, marking a shift in government's implementation strategy in vocational education training from inputs to results. So there has been a long felt need for a national architecture for promoting convergence, ensuring effective governance and regulation of skill training, and catalyzing industry efforts in vocational training space. So these 2 schemes shall address this need by setting up national bodies for accreditation and certification, which shall regulate accreditation and certification in both long and short term vocational education and training. So now let's discuss these schemes separately. So firstly, we'll discuss the highlights of Sankalp. This Sankalp envisages setting up of trainers and assessors academies with self-sustainable models. Over 50 such academies are to be set up in priority sectors. So, MSDE has already made significant progress in this direction by setting up a number of institutes for training of trainers in public and private sector, offering training in over 35 trades. So, the schemes shall leverage such institutions for training the trainers in both long and short term vocational education training, thereby bringing about convergence. Additional trainer academies shall be set up on the basis of identified sectoral and geographical gaps. Greater decentralization skill planning will be ensured by institutional strengthening at the state level, which includes setting up of state skill missions and allowing states to come up with district and state level skill development plans. Okay, so this is about Sankalp, and it also aims at improving inclusion of marginalized communities, including persons with disabilities, SC, ST, and also for women, for providing skill training opportunities. So next is Strive. Now, Strive scheme shall incentivize ITIs to improve overall performance, including by involving SMEs, small medium enterprises, business association, and industry clusters. So the schemes aim to develop a robust mechanism for delivering quality skill development training by strengthening institutions such as state skill development missions, that is SSDMs, National Skill Development Corporation, sector skill councils, ITIs, and etc. So the schemes shall support universalization of national skills qualification framework, that is NSQF. These schemes shall provide the required impetus to the National Skill Development Mission that was launched in 2015 and its various submissions. So the schemes are aligned to flagship Government of India programs such as Make in India, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So this is something, a supplement to Make in India and Swachhta Abhiyan. Now just see the schemes, such kind of schemes will develop a skilling ecosystem that will support the country's rise in ease of doing business index by steady supply of skilled workforce to the industry. Moreover, these schemes will also work towards increasing the aspirational value of skill development programs by increasing the marketability of the skills through better industry connect and quality assurance. Otherwise, what happens, whatever are, suppose we take example of engineering students, whatever they learn in their when they are in college is entirely different what is needed by the industries for their work. So this is trying to boost their skills for marketability of the skills, so they get better employment opportunities. That is all what is sankalp and strive for. So now let's move to the next. This is Secure Himalaya project. Now this Secure Himalaya project is launched by Union government to ensure the conservation of forest resources, land and biodiversity with local and global significance. On inaugural, and this is like launched on the inaugural day of Global Wildlife Program GWP conference. It covers high Himalayan ecosystem stretching over Sikkim, Uttarakhand, HP and Jammu Kashmir. Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, that is, this ministry has also collaborated with United Nations Development Program, that is UNDP, for the launch of this project. This project was launched in the background of increasing habitat degradation, fragmentation of area, which is increasing due to high dependence of the local communities on the natural resources and unplanned infrastructure. So there are some key points like this Secure Himalaya project is spread over 6 years. This project aims at securing the livelihood of the people, restoration, sustainable use, conservation of high Himalayan ecosystem. And next, the key focus of this project will be on the improving enforcement to ensure the reduction in wildlife crime, protection of snow leopard and other endangered species, and ensuring a secure livelihood to the people of this region. So Secure Himalaya project is spread over 6 years. You need to remember these points. Now what else is like securing the livelihood of the people of the region is given importance under this project, as the relative seclusion and remoteness has made the mountain communities very isolated, and these people are the last protectors of the ecosystem of the Himalayas, so we need to take care of their livelihood programs. So even there is strict monitoring and improved, as I already told you, this program will try to monitor wildlife crime, and along with that they will try to control illegal trade in aromatic and medicinal plants that fall in the category of most threatened species in these landscapes and under this project. And where the areas where this program will be implemented will be like Kanchenjunga, Upper Tista Valley in Sikkim, Gangotri Govind Dharma Byans Valley in Pitroghar in Uttarakhand, Lahul Pangi and Kinnaur in Himachal Pradesh, and Changthang in Jammu Kashmir. So you need to remember these names also, as they can be asked in your pre-exams. So now there are some questions for you. Please write the answer in your comment box, and I hope you will be able to answer these questions. The first is, National Rural Drinking Water Program is being implemented by the Ministry of Rural Development, Ministry of Rural Development, Ministry of Water Resources, Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation, Water Ministries of each state government. Now it has not been written in the slides, but yes, while giving the lecture I have taken the name of the ministry several times, so you can write the answer in the comment box. Next is, this is very tricky question. Why this is tricky, I'll tell you. Like, which statement best describes the purpose of the portal She-Box? First statement is, it is an online complete management system for women working in private organization. It is basically used to lodge of sexual harassment at workplace, used to lodge complaints of sexual harassment at workplace. Now, what describes best the purpose of portal? You need to answer in the comment box, and please see this lecture carefully, because this program has been extended. It has some other aim while it was initially it has some other feature when it was initially launched, and then it is extended, so answer accordingly. Now, the Deen Dayal Sparsh Yojana is related to, today you learned a new term, so I think you can easily answer this. Next is, recently CCEA has approved 2 World Bank supported schemes of rupees this aimed at skill development in India. Which of the following are those schemes? So I really hope you are able to answer this question also. And for any queries, you can mail me, or for my video updates and PDF, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you.